What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? Welcome to Jake Richardson's Coaching Corner, Season 2, Episode 21. The topic of the day is rich and poor mindset. So it's not rich versus poor mindset. It's rich and poor mindset. So today I'm breaking down the two. In my life, I've been on both sides of the coin in the sense of the mindset. I've been in positions where I felt very good financially, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And then there have been parts of my life where I felt the opposite in some of those categories. And today I'm going to break down the mindsets, the definitions of the mindsets, who fits these mindsets, and what you could do to get yourself into one of these mindsets. Hopefully, the better, not the worse. To begin, what's a rich mindset? A rich mindset is someone who seeks to build relationships based on trust, liking, shared values, and mutual respect. So it's somebody that, like I said, is looking for great qualities: trust, liking, shared values, mutual respect. When you are looking for these types of individuals or looking for these types of relationships, there's going to be a lot of wealth when it comes to finances, spirituality, health, mental state of mind. You're looking to maximize everything. You're going to find these people in all these different categories and build relationships. People don't realize, in my whole life, having no money, having some money, being not that healthy, being extremely healthy, feeling the lowest of lows, feeling the highest of highs, the thing that helps you the most and the thing that will project you into better positions is having the right people around you, building relationships. Nothing else matters besides the relationships that you build. In sports, at school, in your job, relationship building makes your day amazing. Relationship building makes your day extremely easy. Relationship building makes your day really fun. When you don't have these, it all sucks. You're not making no money. You hate your job. You hate the people around you. There's a lot of negativity that goes with it. But like I said, that rich mindset is constantly looking for connection, constantly looking for people. They're not worried about anything else because they know with the right people, the right connections, the right energy, all the other shit comes along with it. Everything else is man-made. Money is man-made. Money, it just sits there. It doesn't do anything. How you create money is by the relationships that you build and the trust that you build, because you can get short money. If I create a fake, shitty relationship with somebody that they feel like is a long-lasting relationship, and I'm doing it just for that money, that's all the money that you'll ever get, because that person will never trust you again, and that person gonna want to probably beat your ass. If you create a long-lasting relationship where you're pouring everything into the person, not worrying about the money, when that money does come, that's not the last of it. There's gonna be a lot more that comes with it because of what you guys have together. So I think that it's very essential that you understand building with human beings and building with people is the greatest thing that you could ever do to reach any type of success that you want. Any type of emotional release that you want. Anything positive that you want is based around people. When you think that you're going to do it on your own, you realize really fast that you can't do it on your own. If you're playing sports, or if you're somebody that's played sports, you realize in the history of sports, especially team sports, there's never been one person to win a game and have the other players not play at all. Never happened in life. There could be a player that leads everybody, that kind of is charging forward and people are rolling with him. But at the end of the day, Michael Jordan has never won a game 5-on-1. Tom Brady has never won a game 11-on-1. Just doesn't happen that way. You need to build trust. You need to have people believe in you. And you need to have the right energy and the right message going forward to get things done. And this definition and this mindset is how you get there. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King, Bruce Lee, all these guys in these different spaces, they all had this mindset way before they were ever financially rich. They were rich from the inside and it just bleeded outward. And when it bleeded on the outside, everybody got addicted to it and they wanted it. So what happens? You get money that way because this world is based around money. But like I said, you have to be rich on the inside first before you're ever rich on the outside. More often than not, when you see people that are trying to be rich on the outside first, they're poor as fuck on the inside and they're dead on the inside and they don't know how to be rich. You could be somebody like the men that I said. And don't worry, there's women out there as well, but those were just the first people that popped in my head, so I threw them out there. If you interviewed all of them, or if you could find interviews of them at their youngest state, they were probably talking with the same vigor and the same energy as they either do today or did before they died. And that's where really the mindset comes from. It's that belief. It's how you feel. It's what you're doing that charges you up to constantly be great. They didn't just stop. All these guys, every single day until the day they retired or till the day they died, they were trying to be better than they were yesterday, trying to be better than they were a year ago. And that's also another aspect to a rich mindset, is not being complacent and not thinking just because you have money or just because you have infrastructure that you're done. There's a multitude of ways you could be rich with that mindset, and it has nothing to do with finance. What kind of people have rich mindsets? First off, successful people. You have to have a rich mindset to be successful. You can't have a poor mindset. You can't be depressed. You can't be thinking negatively for too long and think that you're going to be successful. If your idea is success, then the mindset in which you have to have is a rich one, but encompassing everything. Like I said, health, wellness, spirituality, finance. All of these things have to be running at the same speed. If one is running behind, it's going to slow the other ones up. It's going to change the direction. You can't have that. So you have to make sure they're all running at the same speed. And for me personally, I feel like the closer you get to the middle of life, the easier life is. So if you're too far here, if you're too far here, you usually have the same issues. The closer and closer and closer you get to the middle, the less you have of either side's problems, and the more balanced, the more zen you end up becoming. It's almost like a teeter-totter. If I stay in the middle of the teeter-totter, I'm solid. If I'm on one side, lopsided. If I'm on the other side, lopsided. So the closer you get to the middle, the better. And I really feel that way when it comes to being successful. If you're just focusing on fitness, you'll be the buffest bum begging for a quarter. If you're only focused on emotions, then you'll be the fattest, brokest, intellectual, emotional human being sitting on the corner asking for a quarter. If you're only focused on finance, you're going to be a fat, emotionalist dork that nobody wants to be around. And if you're only focused on spirituality, then you'll end up being a pope, or you'll be John Paul the 69th, or you'll be somebody within the religious faith. But like I said, more into seclusion, don't really have a lot of people around you. You need to find an even balance between the four to be truly successful and have a very rich mindset. Happy people. I meet a lot of people in those four categories that are very happy. The happiest people are the ones that know I even them all out. In my job as a personal trainer, I have some people that I train that are richer than a lot of small countries, but have a lot of issues at the same time. They focus so hard on the financial side of a rich mindset that they're poor in health, they're poor in spirituality, they're poor in mindset. Where me, they're sitting in my office. I make cool money. I don't make their money. And I will be telling them, hey, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should think about doing it this way. And they will look at me like I'm fucking Nostradamus. Where I'm like, I'm Galileo. I'm not saying anything too out of the norm that somebody hasn't said or thought of before. It's just these people are only focused in one avenue, and it's just finance. And then they're not growing the way they want to, or vice versa. I have people that are very much so come in and train that are a million miles an hour with fitness, a million miles an hour with their emotions, their spirituality, but they lack finance, they lack focus. And you try to explain to them, hey, maybe you should try this within this avenue. And same thing, they're looking at you like you're the smartest man on the planet. It's not that. It's that I took a huge step back at a certain time in my life and realized that there's 4 categories that you need to make as even as you possibly can. And if you could do that, you'll be very rich mindseted and you'll have a very strong foundation. And that was it right there. So I think happy people, myself, the people that I train and the people that I keep in my circle have that mindset. They're very happy. They love life. Me personally, if we're talking about me on a personal level, I'm happy as fuck. Man, I don't know people happier than me. I find the best outlooks. I can be stuck in traffic and having a great time. I like what I do. Sitting around my clients who are some of the best people on the planet, talking to them for an hour, bullshitting, guiding them towards health, enlightening them a little bit, them enlightening me. It's probably one of the greatest jobs on the planet. And it's helped me build the confidence and the experience to actually even do these podcasts. Love my fiance, love my dog, love my family, love my friends. I'm in a very happy state. Life was not like that growing up, in the sense of I didn't have a white picket fence. I didn't have all the money in the world. A lot of people in the situation that I grew up in ended up in a lot of horrible directions or had a horrible mindset. It's up to you to do the things that most people won't do to become successful, in the sense of getting up, working hard, making your money, saving your money, and then doing the right things along the way, and then developing these relationships with people and having a strong mindset. I decided to do that at a very young age, and I was lucky enough to have great parents, have great siblings to help me grow faster. Since I'm the youngest in the family, I want to be like them. So I grew faster. I understood things faster. So I was always very mature for my age. So at this stage of life, extremely happy. And that's why I do these podcasts, to help you realize it's not hard. It's all up to you. You could change the mindset no matter the position that you're in. Another trait for rich mindset people, healthy emotionally, healthy physically, healthy financially, healthy spiritually. Focus on those. I'm going to keep rolling with those the whole time, but if you could focus on those 4, you'll be extremely healthy, you'll be extremely happy, and you'll be extremely successful. So focus on it, lock it all in. That's all you need to have a rich mindset. Does having a rich mindset have anything to do with money? Fuck no. Like I said before, I've had a lot of rich people, classically rich when it comes to having a lot of money, in my office. They have been some of the most unhealthy people on the planet. One of my old bosses was filthy rich, and in my opinion was a very unhealthy person. Worked out a lot, but was very unhealthy in the sense of his stress, very unhealthy in the sense of his family. He didn't take care of them the way that my dad took care of us, even though the money is vastly different. My dad took care of his family way better than he took care of his family. He'd forget about him. So he was very unhealthy in that category. very unhealthy in his mind. There was always these battles that were going back and forth. So being rich has nothing to do with having a rich mindset. The way you get that rich mindset is by not paying attention to money, never even thinking about money. Because money, in my opinion, is the root of all evil, because man created money. And man as a whole, I believe, is very evil. So for me, I don't follow in the rhythm of what man created. I try to follow in the rhythm of what God created. And when I decide to do that, and when I do that, life makes a lot of sense. Life's very easy. But if you're going towards money, thinking that that's going to solve all your problems, and that's going to make you very happy, and it's going to help the people around you, fuck, just look at history. Look at some of the richest people on the planet and look how they die horribly, or they die alone, or they have very sad lives. So don't pay attention to money. It has nothing to do with having a rich mindset. So get that out your head. Focus on the 4 categories I told you before. Finance is in those because we do live in a world where money does mean. But finances and rich are 2 different things. Finances mean that you're covering everything that you could do to be happy, because man has put these things in front of us. Mortgage, bills, school, etc., that we need to cover. So finance is just for the covering aspect. And if you have a little extra behind on the back end, you can play with it. Cool. But don't worry about leading the charge to go get money. Because at the end of the day, it's just a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Meaning the pot of gold is never there. You'll be chasing your whole life and being disappointed your whole life. Where are we at now? Yeah, there we go. Does having a rich mindset, no, we already did that. What's a poor mindset? Poor mindset is having what's a poor mindset? Poor mindset is having a poor mindset is a fear that you will never have enough. So once again, having a poor mindset is the fear that you'll just never have enough. Which to me is fucking frightening. If you're living a life based on fearing that you'll never have enough, then you'll never be successful. Just reading that brings me back to being a kid. I would say children, more often than not, have the poorest mindset. For this fact alone, if you were relayed back to when you were young and your mom bought a huge pizza for you and your friends, let's say you're 12 years old. While eating that piece of pizza, what are you thinking of? What are you doing while eating that pizza? More often than not, myself, my friends, people I observed, while eating that pizza, are looking at the next slice they want, and more often than not, grabbing it so their friends don't grab it, because they have that poor mindset. They have that fear of not having enough. That just hit me right now. I didn't even think about that while I was paying attention and writing this podcast out, or this episode out. But that right there lets me know you need to grow. That's a certain stage of your life where you're not making any money. You're not guiding your life because your parents are guiding your life. You don't know which direction that you're going in just yet. You're just living day to day. More often than not, that's what children do. They live day to day. They're not thinking what they're doing on the weekend. They're not thinking of what they're doing a month from now. More often than not, that's what we're doing as adults, because we have to do it. We have to plan our lives out. Kids don't do that because you're planning their life out. And with that being said, they have a lot of fears that we forget about. I forgot about that fear, even just with something as simple as pizza, because I haven't had that in a long time. If I'm buying a fucking pizza as an adult and it runs out, I'll buy another fucking pizza. As simple as that. But when you're a kid and you're not buying your own pizza, and pizza comes maybe once every other month or once every 6 months, you're going to fucking, oh, all right, I get that next one. That one looks good. I got to grab that. So that encompasses that poor mindset, that fear of not having enough. What kind of people have a poor mindset? Unsuccessful people. Unsuccessful people down the line have very poor mindsets. They don't think highly of themselves. They're scared to lose money. They don't know how to make money. And then they pass it on to their family. So that's why the rich and poor are so on opposite sides, because rich people pass down rich traits. Poor people pass down poor traits. And their offspring either success or fail based on what they're delivering and what they're teaching. So I would say very unsuccessful people have a poor mindset. Unhappy people. Money, spirituality, health, and emotion, if not wrangled in, will make you very unhappy if they go too far south. If you make them too strong of a priority when it comes to your emotions, then you'll find yourself very up and down in your disappointments. For me, like I said, I have a strong spiritual base. I have a very strong health base, strong emotional base, strong financial base. But I'm also at a state where if I lose money, if I'm out of shape, if I'm emotionally not all the way there, if I'm spiritually not all the way there, I can tap in with myself, lock in with myself, and pull me back to where I need to be. For another example, just recently, I've always been in shape. I looked in the mirror, noticed that my six-pack wasn't looking the way it was. I was getting some love handles on the side. My muscles didn't look strong. The average person with a poor mindset would just say, fuck it. It's winter time. Fuck it. It's the holidays. Fuck it. I could take a little time off. Me, on the other hand, I said, fuck that. I've been in shape my whole life. I ain't stopping now at 33 years old. Going. Stopped eating certain things I knew weren't helping. Started increasing the cardio. Started increasing working out. Within 2 weeks, lost 7 pounds. Body looking a lot better. Feeling a lot stronger. Because my mindset, I know what it's like to be here. And now I'm here. All I gotta do is get me back over here. With anything else, my finances could take a hit. I know what it's like being here. I know what it's like being here. I'm right here. Let's go this way. So it's a choice to decide to go forward and not back. And unhappy people don't know how to make that choice. They more often than not go backwards. They more often than not hurt themselves. And as you're going back, especially as the leader of your family, if you're going back and you're tumbling down, you're taking your whole family with you. So that as you reset, they have to reset. And nobody grows. Unhealthy people. Same 4 categories. Health, mentality, spirituality, finance. If you are unhealthy in these, you're going to fucking fail. You're going to have a poor mindset. So you need to slowly, and here's my best advice. If you're somebody in this situation, and you're like, well, how do I do this? In incremental steps. Poor people see rich people. Poor people see successful people and want to skip all the hardship. You are the matriarch. Maybe these rich people or maybe these people in this started out better than you did. So they don't have to go through all the bullshit. They had ancestors that went through all the bullshit that finally became successful. You are that ancestor in your family that's to go through all the bullshit. And towards the latter half of your life, finally be successful, finally be happy, and then project your family from decades to centuries on to be very successful. But there's somebody that's got to go through the bullshit, and that person might have to be you. So you have to do it in incremental steps. It is a lifetime journey. It is a long journey. They have to slowly go. And each 4 of them, because like I said, you're not just doing one. A little here, this one, little here, this one, little here, this one, little here. You're constantly lifting the spirituality, the mentality, the health, and the finance. You gotta slowly increase them. When you do that, you'll notice that you're all the way at the top floor and you're very successful and you're very happy. But more often than not, people with a poor mindset, unsuccessful people, unhappy people, unhealthy people. Insecure people as well. They're so worried about judgment. They're so worried about people taking things from them that they become extremely insecure. And when you're insecure, you never grow because you're worried about so many things that don't fucking matter. Insecure people pay attention to other people so much that they forget about themselves. When you are not insecure, you don't give a shit about anybody's opinion. You don't give a shit about what anybody thinks. I respect people. I care about people. But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm not insecure is because whatever you say doesn't affect me. The only person's thought process, the only person's opinion that will affect me is my own. And when I decide to pivot and change, it's usually for the better. And then I'll pivot and change and go forward. So don't be insecure. Don't be unhappy. Don't be unhealthy. And don't be unsuccessful. What do these people fear? Taking a chance. Like I said, you have to be that one person that breaks out from the lineage of poor mindset people. That is a huge risk. That is a huge chance because you might get judged by them. They might think that you're trying to be better than them, show out on them. All these things because that's what negative people think. You might have to break all the way the fuck away from them because your new family, which is primary one, if you have a wife, if you have kids, these people are very vulnerable in the sense of what you're going to teach them. If you're going to teach them to be successful, they'll roll with you. If you teach them what you've been taught and what your family's been taught, they'll roll with that as well. And then you'll have another batch of fucking unsuccessful dumbasses. And on this planet, we do not need another batch of unsuccessful dumbasses. So do your hardest to move forward. And success varies. The 1% of the world makes $400,000 a year. Not a million, not a billion. So don't compete with the millions and billions. Just compete with, I'm making 50,000 this year. Let's make 80 next year. I'm making 80,000 this year. Let's make 100. Small movements will push you forward. Going up a hill, if you try to sprint up a hill, you won't make it. But if you hike and walk up a hill, I bet you'll make it way further than if you try to sprint. So all the answers are right in front of you. Having nothing, that's another thing that people with a poor mindset fear the most, is having nothing. How the fuck? I've been somebody at certain points in my life that had nothing. I grew up with minimal to nothing. And that has helped me appreciate so much. So when you have the fear of nothing, like I said, back to the pizza, the reason why you're eating one and grabbing one is because you're afraid that by the time you finish this one, there'll be no more left because you don't know how to get it. If you know how to get it, you'll never have a problem losing it because you know you can get it back, because you work hard, because you believe in yourself. If you don't have belief in yourself, then you're fucked. So you need to create that belief. You need to create, if I get it, it's because I worked hard. If I lost it, that's okay because I'm going to work hard again and I can get it again or get something else. So have that type of mentality. Then the biggest thing I fear is success. Judgment comes with success. Ridicule comes with success. Envy comes with success. If everybody was successful, people wouldn't be striving for it. People that aren't successful have a lot of back issues that they will forward and front onto you. Fuck them. Don't pay attention to them. When you're blazing forward, why would you ever look backwards? If people want to see you blazing forward and blaze forward with you and then become side to side, it's way easier for me if I'm going forward to do this than it is to do this. If I'm doing this, that means that we are even. We are with each other. We're one. We're going forward. It's easy. I can still see. If I'm looking this way, I can still see a little bit here. If I'm here, I can't see shit going this way. So why the hell would I look back and potentially hurt myself trying to help your ass out? You got to help yourself out. So success is key. My advice, be around successful people. Have a rich mindset. Remember the definition of rich mindset was creating people, understanding, creating relationships, being strong. Get that mindset. If you could do that, you'll be extremely successful. And with that being said, this is the end of the episode. This one I was very happy with. I hope I helped you guys out. Like I said, focus on your health. focus on your mindset, focus on your spirituality, focus on your finance. If you could get those 4, I said it about 1,000 times this episode because I really want to punch it home. But if you can lock those 4 in and make them even and not looking back to grab one, then you'll be extremely successful. If people aren't aligned with you, no matter who they are, it is okay to drop them because all they are is dead weight. If you drop them, it doesn't mean they can't pick themselves up and run back and get side to side with you. That's their own battle, though. You shouldn't be worried about anybody else's but your own. Like I said, there's 24 hours in a day. More often than not, we're only awake for 16 of them. You don't have a second to waste on anybody else's journey. Your journey is 16 hours a day. Try to maximize them as much as you possibly can. And with that being said, get a hold of loved ones, get a hold of friends. Let them know how much you care about them. Let them know that you're thinking about them because life is too short and it's way better to say it when they're alive and can appreciate it than when they're gone and it's only an angel sending it to them up in heaven. So at the end of the day, get a hold of your people, make a difference, make a change, make yourself better. You got to be better than you were yesterday. And if you ain't doing that, you shouldn't be listening to our podcast. So get the fuck out of here, get better, get a hold of your people. I'm out. Peace.